Article body ritual among the NACIREMA depicts the American culture as just being a very judgmental culture, being very ignorant. You know, the article is just based off of one person's perspective, looking in on the NACIREMA tribes, their rituals, their ritual with the holy mouth men, where these basically mystical, magical men who will come and get rid of their teeth, pull their teeth, get rid of the bacteria and whatnot. And he was able to witness this ritual happen, but he was just kind of judging the whole time. Or just, he didn't understand it since their teeth were still going to be rotting. And they did this every year, so it didn't work. Like, let me see. And the article states the natives returned to the holy mouth men year after year, despite the fact that their teeth continue to decay. Which the sentence kind of just stands out. How I get that it doesn't really work, but it's more of a tradition that they passed on among their culture. So it just basically perfectly depicts American culture as being judgmental and having an opinion when it shouldn't be needing it. So I'm not sure if this is 100% a ritual or practice that everyone in my culture, the Hispanic culture, practices, but whenever I was growing up as a child, I think around like 10, 11, 12, somewhere around that age, I was able to drink alcohol. I was able to partake in that when some sort of event was occurring. And all young children were allowed to, not all of them, but up to a certain age, around 10, 11, if you wanted to, you were allowed to drink with the adults and whatnot. A lot of my friends growing up, same way, in the Hispanic, the neighborhood that I live in, and their culture as well, in their household, they were growing up and allowed to drink when they were younger. It's just a thing that my culture did. And this is kind of similar to the U.S. culture, because not because that the children were allowed to drink in more American culture, because I know in a lot of families that you'll see, like, if you look at that 70s show, it kind of depicts the perfect 70s American, the typical white 70s suburban, um, what do you call it, family back in the day. The drinking age back then was 18, but Eric in the show was not allowed to drink until he was 18, and Red was super hard on him, which was his father when he lived with them. But, anyways, that's off topic. But I think it kind of is similar to the American culture, because when an event happens or any kind of like holiday, usually everyone drinks unless you're older, more just you don't partake in those activities. You won't, but most people will just drink, have a good time and whatnot, and just let loose with each other. In my culture, I know that event and rituals kind of change with the children drinking, because growing up they think it's okay to drink all the time. They think it's a normal thing to be actually drinking. So that leads to just alcoholism when they are only 18 or 19, my age. And whenever I had a stepmom, she was the one, like the gentrification that changed everything and kind of switched up that whole ritual. Like, no, not until you're 21. You can't drink with us unless it's certain events. Christmas, I'm 18 now, so I was able to, but not until I was 18, I wasn't able to drink anymore with anyone. And as a kid, obviously, I was, upset, whatever. I'm older now, so I'm mature, and I get more mature, I should say. So I get it. But going off topic, yeah. But I know this ritual has changed, because you don't see this being accepted in these households anymore. It's more seen as, no, don't, you're not allowed to touch that, do not drink that, blah blah blah, because they don't want you to grow up to be an alcoholic, or see that everything like that is just a normal thing to be doing, and that it's okay when it's really not. Evidence kind of showing that, based off not just my word, but that these families have been, not allowing the younger adults or teenagers to be drinking or partaking in everything anymore. It shows in the National Library of Science, quotes, these discrepancies are highlighted in recent U.S. national findings, suggesting a halt in the increase of binge drinking among minority adolescents, which this has been declining for about 3 years now based off of their findings and statistics. But this goes to show that these families not allowing their children to be drinking and thinking it's a normal thing declines big time in the amount of binge drinkers among just minorities alone, since a lot of Hispanic families saw that in culture, um, just grew up that way, so they thought it was okay. But now that they're older, they know it's not.